Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Another impromptu live, and I just thought let us do a quick impromptu live for because I was just guided to do this live. As I said yesterday, I only do lives when I'm guided to do them. So was just guided to do that, and I'm going to wait for a few more seconds to see you all joining in. Trying to be live on both Facebook and Insta at the same time. Once again. Hey, hi Gautam. Hi Ankita. Thank you for joining. Today's topic is going to be a little more informative and a little more educational. So, we're just guided to share this. We are almost at the 12-12 portal end of this amazing year. 2021. The year was full of a lot of ups and downs, and I know energetically we all have transformed. So wonderful. I'm just going to wait for a few more seconds. I'm just going to see if I'm just giving notification to people on my group so that everyone can join. So yes, let us begin in say a minute's time. Okay, so today's live is all about, I'm going to talk about a little deep topic, which is soul loss or soul fragmentation and retrieving back the parts of your soul which are keeping you stuck in any kind of negative times or negative timelines, pain and trauma. Okay, a very deep topic, and this was some work which I started doing in the year 2015-16. And I remember that was the time I used to do a lot of these Akashic work and soul retrieval work and soul healing work. And after 2017, and because a lot of other things I also do, I somehow stopped doing this work. But yesterday, while talking with a friend who's also going through an awakening journey, I just realized that maybe it's now once again the need for this kind of work, and that's the reason we are here. I thought, how about beginning with a live, because this topic is a little deep. You may resonate with it, you may not resonate with it, but one thing I can say is I'm going to make it very simple, and I'm going to explain it in very easy language about what exactly this whole thing is and how do we go about it. Okay, so I'm just going to take a minute more to talk about this, and then we will begin. All right. Okay, so let us first begin with understanding what is the journey of your soul. Now, whether you believe it or not, you are not just a physical body. You are also a soul, or rather you are a soul. I won't say you are also a soul. You are a soul which is living in a physical body. Now, when we talk about spiritual experiences, we are not just talking about prayer and meditation and yoga. Okay, many people say that I go to the temple every day, or I go to the church every day and I pray, and that makes me spiritual. Well, that's a part of you being spiritual, but that's not exactly what being spiritual is all about, because that is just the tip of the iceberg. Because being spiritual is a lot more. And we all are always on the spiritual journey. Whether the people who say that they are spiritual, they have realized that they are on a spiritual journey. The others are, of course, they are spiritual, because everyone is a soul in a physical body. Our journey is all about understanding, or rather experiencing, what it is to have the experience of a human life. But we are eternal souls. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about that we are a soul, and a soul cannot be destroyed by fire, nor can be blown away by the wind, nor it can be broken by any weapons, and nor can water really drain it, because it's a soul. And that is exactly what you and me are. But we are in a human body having a human experience, and that totally explains what experiences we have which are beyond our limits. Now, we always have been living in this three-dimensional world. We begin our life as children, we go to school, we learn things, and we learn things in a very linear fashion. What is a linear fashion? Linear fashion is where 1 plus 1 equals 2. After 21st December is 22nd December, and then is 23rd December, and then there is 31st December, and then we begin with a new year. This is the linear thinking. Okay, but the soul, that is only limited to your physical body, but the soul doesn't go through linear thinking. The soul believes in connecting to the body and experiencing earth through the human body. And that's why I always tell everyone that, especially when you are on a spiritual journey, make sure you have a good connection with your human body. You can't say I'm ignoring the body. And I see a lot of spiritual teachers, a lot of spiritual healers, they ignore the body. And when you ignore the human body, and when there is no connection between the human body and the soul, that is where you start manifesting illnesses. Okay? So first understand that you are a soul and you are in a physical body. That's the first thing. Now you're just much more than what your physical body is. And when we talk about body, in Sanskrit, we speak about Sthul Sharir, which is the physical body, Sukshma Sharir, which is the mental and emotional body. Then there is Karan Sharir and Mahakaran Sharir, or also called as Sthula Deha, Sukshma Deha, Karan Deha, Mahakaran Deha. Now, this is a very deep topic. I'm just introducing it to you. But these are nothing but the different bodies which we as a soul are connecting to. When you learn energy healing, or when you are even aware about energy healing, now as a Reiki master, when I talk about energy healing is not about only the physical body. In fact, in energy healing, we connect to the energy body, and through the energy body, we work through your energy. And as per energy science, if there is a blockage, an energy blockage in your energy body, your physical body automatically manifests illness. And no matter what you do, until you clean that, the illness will still hang on. Okay? Now all your experiences in your life, each and every experience what you're going through right now, which you have gone through all throughout, are reflecting the health of your soul. Okay? So whether your experiences are health troubles, any health trouble which you are going through, financial troubles which you are going through, relationship trouble you are going through, people who trigger you all the time, all of these are just reflecting the health of your soul. Okay, we might be getting health cards when we go for our regular checkups, and okay, this is the level of your hemoglobin, this is the level of your calcium, this is the level of your all of those levels, whichever medical reports give us, they give you an indicator of your physical health. But the soul, okay, your soul, what is the state of your health? How will you know? You will say, I am not spiritual. I don't believe in all this. Okay, don't believe in all this. But it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. It's going to work because you are always on a spiritual journey. As I said, those who say I don't believe, it's just that they have not realized they are on spiritual journey, but they are very much on the spiritual journey. Okay? So your soul health will determine the quality of your life on earth. We create a lot of drama trauma and we continue to stay stuck in that drama trauma, blaming everyone else, blaming your planets, your kismat, your karma, all of that for it. But what is the planetary alignment, the luck and the good luck and the bad luck and the evil eye? What is it all talking about? It is talking about the state of your soul health. The moment you understand that all of this is connected to the state of your soul health, you will stop giving away your power to others and take charge of your life. See, remember, you are co-creators. Remember, we are co-creating with our creator. And our creator or God is not somewhere outside you. It is that connection within you which you have with that part of you which you are not aware of. Now, many times psychologists talk about conscious and subconscious mind. Okay? This is also something called as superconscious, which is also called as the God mind. This is your connection to the higher self. And although we have a lot of subconscious patterns which we work on when it comes to therapy now, because I'm also a therapist, and when I work with people on their minds, on their emotions, but there is also a part which many times goes ignored, and that is nothing but your God consciousness or the spiritual side of it. So we are going to today, hence, as we talk about the health of your soul, we are also going to talk about what makes the health of your soul go down. Okay, just like when we see doctors talking about what makes your physical health go down, like if you're not exercising, if you're eating junk food, if you're having too much of alcohol, if you're smoking too much, or if you are having a sedentary life where you don't move, where you just consume foods which are not good to your body, all of these will determine the state of your physical health. Similarly, there is also a state of the health of your soul, which we are going to talk about today. And that brings us to a very powerful topic, which is soul loss. What is soul loss? Soul loss is losing the health of your soul. Okay, it's as straightforward as that. Just as your physical body loses health, which makes you sick, and sickness is nothing but blockages created in your energy body, along with the blockages created in your physical body. So there are so many people who say, I exercise, I eat good food, I eat only fresh food, I take care of my health, I sleep for a good time, and I do all of that. But still, why did that person manifest illness? And that is because the state of emotional health, the state of mental health, and the state of soul health did not support the state of physical health. And we call it illness, and we call it luck and good luck, and we also call it lifestyle diseases. And we also say, how did it happen? This person was so healthy. How did he die so young? Soul health often ignored. So what is soul loss? Now, whether you believe it or not, we live across several lifetimes. Okay, we live across several lifetimes. In every lifetime, we are learning some lessons. We are going through experiences. And it's not about just the experiences, but it's also about what happens to you after a negative experience. What do you do when your experiences are not so good? So imagine you go through a trauma in one of your births. There is an automatic subconscious response to protect yourself against that trauma. Is what you do is you shed a part of your soul. So you undergo a trauma, you see a near and dear one dying or getting killed or something like that, which is a very traumatic experience, maybe in one of the past births, or even now soul trauma is also about this birth and past births. It's not just about past birth, it's also about this birth. So many people work on their past lives, but they don't do this birth healing, the inner child healing. And some people work on their this lifetime, but they don't go into past. So both of these together make you realize about your trauma. Okay, now what happens is, when we undergo a trauma in one of our lifetimes, it's the automatic response, a defense mechanism by your soul to protect oneself by shedding or releasing, fragmenting a part of your soul. Now the whole soul is always strong, but the fragmented soul is always weak. Now fragmenting doesn't technically mean actually releasing the soul, but you freeze that part of your soul, which means you don't have access to that part of your soul. Okay, you numb it out. What happens when you go through pain? When you go through a very traumatic experience, if something hurts you, we either cry or we feel bad or we get angry. Or many people say that nowadays I've become stone-hearted. I had a client last week who said, I become so stone-hearted that if I undergo something bad, it doesn't hurt me anymore. And she said I've become stronger. And I said, no darling, you haven't become stronger, you just become numb. Okay, strength is where you sit with the pain, you cry, you feel bad, you feel that pain, and you choose to let it go. But when you say it doesn't impact me anymore, you've created a freeze response to all of those experiences, which means you no longer want to experience it. Because when we as human beings, we go through those deep, intense emotions, it scares us so much, and we don't have the support. A lot of times when you go through something, your friends will tell you, let's party, let's drink, or let's eat something, or let's watch a movie and let's chill, and let's take a chill pill, and don't take these emotional things too much. No, that's not how that's exactly how we numb ourselves. So imagine in one of the lifetimes, say you saw a loved one getting killed, or a loved one just left you and they did not show up again in your life, and you actually went through that trauma. To protect yourself, you numbed that emotion. You totally numbed yourself. And when you numbed yourself, you lost connection to the part of your soul. Okay, now I don't know how many of you are Harry Potter fans here, but why I'm going to give you this metaphor, or rather this similarity between soul fragmentation and creating Horcruxes, is because I know many of you will understand it better, but if you have not read the Harry Potter, maybe it will not make sense to you. So when Voldemort, the antagonist of Harry Potter series, he created Horcruxes where he fragmented his soul and put it into different places. Okay, one was the diadem, one was the cup, one was the wand, one was the locket, one was the diary, and all of those. Okay. Now, when he did that, what did he actually do? He made sure that he protects his soul. So tomorrow if someone attacks Voldemort, he will not die because he has stored his soul into other fragments, other places. Okay, why has he done that? To protect himself. Okay, he has done that to protect himself. Now, because he's done that, if someone comes to attack him first, he will still survive because he continues to live within those Horcruxes. But what Harry Potter, the protagonist of the series, does is, He breaks all of those soul pieces, the horcruxes, so that he actually, when it comes to killing Voldemort, the soul has become weak, and that makes him weak too. And that's exactly what happens to us. We break our soul fragments and they are scattered. We break our soul and it automatically gets scattered. Now, Voldemort was a dark wizard and he consciously did that. But we automatically, consciously, or subconsciously do that when we are afraid, when we freeze, when we are frozen, we release a part of our soul. Okay? Also, when we are, when we reject God within, okay, when we do not choose God within, when we do not choose goodness within, when we do not choose to trust that what's happening is happening for the good, we again reject God. And when we reject God consciousness, we lose a part of our soul, which makes us weaker. And our soul fragment, it's stuck in a trauma timeline or in a different lifetime. Okay, and when that happens, it brings down the health of our soul. Okay, I know a little technical topic, but I'm sure I'm making it so much easy for you. I've also taken notes. I always make notes before my live so that I can put things and I don't miss out on anything. Now the fragmented soul is weak and the whole soul is strong. Okay. And then how do you know? Now your next question will be, how can we change the state of our soul and how can we change the health of our soul? Now see, all the experiences you are right now undergoing are happening because of soul. You have left a part of your soul and you have numbed that part so much that the soul wants to come back, because it's your aim. You want to be whole. We all of us want to be whole, integrated, happy and healed. But because we have released a fragment of our soul, we have become weak. Now the experiences will continue happening to you until you realize that you have healed that experience and you are welcoming back that part of you. All spiritual practices, whether it is Reiki, whether it is pranic healing, whether it is angelic healing, whether it is shadow work, whether it is, even when we talk about therapy and self-love therapy, self-worth therapy, even when we talk about any kinds of prayers, meditations, all the spiritual work is aimed at making you whole and integrated. In 2020 and 2021, both these years, we were integrating a lot of parts of our soul, and that's the reason we were unconsciously healing. When we heal, even sometimes people say, I watched a talk of one of these spiritual teachers and I felt healed. Why did you feel healed? Because you had a realization, you had an aha moment. Right now, if you're watching me live or even if you watch this later, you may have those aha moments where you feel that, wow, this is exactly what I needed to watch. I feel healed. And that is where you are driving those soul segments, those soul fragments. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick diagram. Okay, this is you. This is your aura. This is your first layer of aura. And this is your this is your spiritual body. This is your physical body. This is your mental and emotional body. And this is your spiritual body. Now you see these markings here. These are nothing but the holes made in your spiritual body. Now, whenever you lose a part of your soul, there are these holes which are made in your spiritual body. Now, through these holes, you can attract negativity or you can attract any experiences which you don't want, because your soul wants to feel whole and you're subconsciously also creating difficulties in your problem. So this is a weak soul health. Okay, and a strong soul health will be all of this area sealed and whole. So, when you say some people have huge aura, it is when their soul health is very good. So, our aim is to go from year to year. And that is what happens when you do soul retrieval, where you go across lifetimes and you find parts of your soul which are stuck in those pain and trauma and all those lifetimes, and you're going to take it back. And as you're going to take it back, you're also going to create this whole energy of good soul health. Okay. Now, just like how you have vitamin deficiency and your doctor tells you that, oh, take C vitamin or take multivitamin, because so that your body gets back all those nutrients which it had lost naturally. Or, sometimes you say that, okay, I need to take medical supplements, maybe iron, or because, my hemoglobin levels were low, so I had to take iron. Or, you have to make changes in your diet accordingly, and maybe you need to have more, say, more healthy stuff which will keep your body fit. Similarly, when you do soul retrieval, you get back all those deficiencies which your soul had left out. There are different ways of doing soul retrieval, and it's a very deep session. So I always tell people, only when you are ready for it, you will get guided to do soul retrieval work. And this was the work which I started doing in 2016-17. And after 2017, for some reason, because there's a lot of other therapies which I do, right, from Access Consciousness, Angel Healing, Reiki, and even one-on-one coaching, somehow this practice was somewhere left behind. But now, with the whole 2 years of Earth undergoing shifts and a lot of people reaching out for good spiritual health, I thought this was the need of an hour to talk about this, because I always feel if you're listening to this, there is a reason. If you're listening to this now, there is a reason now. If you're listening to this later, there is a reason later. If you watch this video after 1 year and you write to me about soul loss, probably that's your time to understand what this is and to restore your spiritual health. So when you restore your spiritual health, when you take back the fragments of your soul, you stop creating patterns in your life. You actually break those patterns and you create a life which is much more healthier, and you slowly start moving from agony and pain and trauma to a state of joy, peace. It's a conscious work which is needed, which is also conscious as well as subconscious work. But consciously, when you do these works, you subconsciously and superconsciously create integration within you, and your soul health improves till you become, till all those, you will automatically start seeing changes in your relationships, which means people around you will you will start attracting better people in your life. Also, your existing relationships will get better, and unfortunately or fortunately, some of your existing relationships will exit your life, because those are the people who are not meant to be, because they were there when you were healing through trauma, and now that the trauma is gone, they will leave your life, and you will have people who will give you more peace, more joy. Your financial troubles will also start shifting, and you will start creating more abundance for yourself. Your health, your physical health will also start improving. So when all of this comes together, you know that you have integrated as a soul, and you have started creating a better life for yourself. So that was about today's video. Thank you all who are joining, and thank you amazing people whoever has been a part of this live. And I see some wonderful comments from Shehnaz, from Namrata, from Gautam. I know it's nice to know that you're a big fan of Harry Potter. And thank you, Gautam, for writing that. Looking forward to hear more. And thanks for watching. Thank you, Namrata, for watching. Thank you for dropping that hi. Thank you for all of you. Thank you who watched me. Thank you all of you who will watch this later. Keep watching our channel. I hope this all educates you and makes you feel better. Maumita, my dear, if you missed it, I'm going to put this on my channel, both on my Facebook and also on Instagram, and I'm also going to put it on my YouTube channel. So, hey, thank you, Neha. Thank you for experiencing all of that and sharing it Isn't this healing such a beautiful journey? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And Momita, you can watch this later because it will be put up on our Facebook, YouTube, and our Instagram too. Keep watching, guys. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful Saturday afternoon. If you watch this later, whatever day of the week it is, have a great day. And yeah, thank you, Namrata. Thank you for looking forward to soul retrieval. We will definitely talk about it. Thanks, Momita. Thanks, Shahnaz. Thank you, Gautam. Thank you, Neha. Sending all of you lots and lots of love. Best wishes. Thank you.